Salaki. I'm trying to see if the sound is good on here. But it's taking all day. It's taking all day. All right. Okay, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Taza Doc coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopefully elect. Before I do that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Chakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the occupants, Christian is truth out the four corners of the earth, and our truth, sincerity, and diligent Shalom. And if you can't hear me that good, Lord willing that you can. If you can't hear me that good, it's because uh, my regular phone, my phone that I use, something wrong with it. So I had to improvise. So it's like anyway. So like, so as you can see the title, it says so like, it says Dump says to block Hormuz, the Straits of Hormuz. Okay, which I got two video clips that I'm gonna play. All right, to go that's going into that. But he wants to block the Hormuz. All right, which this guy, he's a maniac, bro. He's a egotistic bastard, bro. Like he's really, just that you can see the Edomiteness reeking off of him, bro. Like here it is. He wants to switch. He called on all his allies, try to call on his allies like NATO and whatnot to go in there and regulate the Strait of Hormuz. And they're like, nah, we're not getting into that. No, we're not taking no part of that. Then he called on them again to help to help the U.S. block it, and they like, no, you know, because the nations are not getting into that, man. All right, but what is he doing? Is that he's it's like this. It's like, say you're on the interstate and you're in traffic. Traffic is backed up. It's backed up, but then you got this little. You know how people sometimes they'll drive on the side. Well, you're not supposed to drive right there, but they'll drive on the side a little ways just to get off on that next exit. But then you get an 18 wheeler that just block it because, hey man, if we stuck in traffic, that shit, and that's what he's doing because Iran is like, well, none of you none of you American ships can come through here. So America, like, if we can't go through there, then nobody gonna go through there, right? This is that cruel Lord, man. Okay, and what he's doing, bro, is just it's really childish, But it's all part of the plan. All this is part of an agenda, man. All right, because him blocking the Straits of moves, it puts a real strain, on a global strain, which is gonna bring famine, inflation, things of that nature, man. Which is gonna cause people to really get into uproar. All right, so what I'll do is I'm gonna play these clips. All right. Once again, told Donald Trump no. When NATO allies have once again told Donald Trump no. We're not going to help you with the Strait of Hormuz. This time, Donald Trump is asking NATO allies to help block the Strait of Hormuz. This comes as Donald Trump is once again warning all ships who are coming to the Strait of Hormuz, saying, quote, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they'll be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. At this moment, we've heard from the United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, Italy, Poland, and Greece, who all said, no, we are not sending ships. We're refusing to help you in this. With the British Prime Minister saying, quote, we're not getting dragged into the war. What these countries are saying is, we're not going to help you now when there's an active war going on, a war that we're obviously not a part of. NATO is not meant for offensive operations.
only defensive operations, but we would be willing to help once the war is over. We haven't heard Trump's response yet, but I'm sure it's not going to be good. As soon as he does respond, I'll be sure to let you know, so please do share my videos and follow me for more.
You see? So this devil, the whore, all right, the whore is his allies is turning his back on him. It's turning his back, and it pisses him off, you know, because he wants to, like he said, he wants to block the Hormuz, so no ship can come in and no ship can get out. All right, but hey, understand this is Esau Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, but that happened. Matter of fact, let me play this other clip before I go on.
The US blockade of Iranian ports. Out of the developing conflict in the Middle East, as we go to air, the US blockade of Iranian ports is coming into effect. The Navy ordered to stop any ships heading for Iranian ports. The Strait of Hormuz effectively deserted as ships head for safer waters. Donald Trump has warned that any Iranian fast attack ships caught trying to approach the blockade will be immediately eliminated.
All right, see that? Say any. Matter of fact, let me listen to it again.
Out of the developing conflict in the Middle East, as we go to air, the US blockade of Iranian ports is coming into effect. The Navy ordered to stop any ships heading for Iranian ports.
To stop any ships heading for the Iranian ports, man. All right, and it says
the Strait of Hormuz effectively deserted as ships head for safer waters. Donald Trump has warned that any Iranian fast attack ships caught trying to approach the blockade will be immediately eliminated.
So any ships trying to come close to the blockade that Donald Trump is doing is going to be eliminated. All right, so that goes to show you just how close we are, to World War III. Let me get that. This is Revelations 11, which this right here, the blockade saying not allow ships to go in and go out. Right, that's a lot of oil that's not being pushed out in the earth, man. Which that's going to cause a lot of prices to rise up. This is Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. See, because all of this that is going on this is all going to lead up to World War III. All this is going to lead up to those missiles flying, you know, and knocking Babylon, off its axles, man. All right, because what I wanted to get into is that you see how Donald Dump, all right, America, what they doing is like, okay, they're doing this to get at Iran, but you got these other countries like China, right, that got these agreements with Iran for oil, all right. So it's really messing up their business. What America doing is messing up their business. Like, hey man, you doing this with them, but what you doing is like really holding up progress over here. All right, so therefore, it is he's meddling in China's affairs, and in whatever other country that has these agreements with Iran for the resources that they get from them. Right, America is messing with that agreement, which pisses off these other nations. Which eventually these other nations they're gonna rise up against America. Okay, so look. When I ask chat, right? When I ask chat, I say, uh, what would blocking the Straits of Hormuz, what would blocking the Straits of Hormuz do to the economy? It says blocking the Straits of Hormuz would be one of the most disruptive events possible for the global economy because it's one of the world's most critical oil and energy shipping routes, right? So it says all prices could spike to 120 to 200 per barrel very quickly. Similar shock to the 1973 oil crisis. Higher oil means higher cost for transportation, food, and manufacturing, right? And America already doesn't really manufacture anything here. That's why this is how you can identify America being Babylon the Great. When you read, I think it's Revelations the 18th chapter, all right? Because America is dependent on these other nations because the everything that's in the stores, is damn near all made by China. So, you know, America really needs these other nations to to keep them going. All right, but that's what make them so their pride stinks so bad because you actually need these other nations, but you talk as if though you don't. You know, and I say you, speaking about these Edomites, Donald Dump being at the forefront. But it says stock markets drop, investors panic, airlines, trucking, and manufacturing stocks get hit first. Energy companies may rise, but overall markets likely to fall. Supply chain disruptions, not just oil, also natural gas and petrochemicals, delayed in shipping. Okay, it says in the American economy, it says gas prices spike. Even U.S. produces its own oil. Even if U.S. produces its own oil, prices are set globally. Gas could jump up to $5, $5 to $7 per gallon. All right, see, up the street, right here up the street, gas is now about to be $4. It was $3.99. That's $4, bro. You know, that's the highest I have ever seen it. Okay, $4. Okay, and it says groceries to go up, shipping cost rises, utility bills increase. So that only means that times is about to get hard, like very, very, very hard. But this is what they want. This is what they want. This is all part of their agenda, right? This is all plays in the part in the weakening of this economy to break this economy, okay? To be able to push forth the new world order, you know, with the initiation of taking the MOTB, right? Hold on, hold on. So it says that gas prices, groceries go up, shopping cost rises, utility bill prices. This is gonna cause inflation, right? This is gonna cause inflation, like it speaks about in Revelations the sixth chapter. This is Revelation 6:1. Not one. This is Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice of the mist. I hope y'all can hear me good because, like I said, I'm on another phone. I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right? So when it says a measure of wheat for a penny, so a measure of wheat for a penny, right? So when you go into that word measure, it says chonics, right? It says, well, when you get to the applicable definition, what it says, or as much as would support a man of a modern appetite for a day. So like a dry measure containing four co- uh, cole. I'm not even saying that right, but the measure equals up to uh, the support of a man's moderate appetite for a day, right? So this measure of wheat is going to what cost a penny. Now, when you go into that word penny, it goes into that word denarian, right? This was worth. This is a Roman silver coin, right? But the applicable definition is which equal up to 10 ounces. It says this was a day's wages of work. Okay, so a whole day's wages of work, that penny will only get will only be sufficient enough to feed a man of a moderate appetite. Okay, so this is going to cause like all this happening is going to cause a famine in the earth, a famine where there's a lack of bread. Okay, a lack of bread, and people are going to be in perplexity, fighting one another. Friends that once was best friends, people that was once friends, and oh, I die for you, XYZ. They're gonna fight each other like enemies, man. because they're what their livelihood. They're in survival mode, right? Survival mode. Think about that, being in survival mode, because once everything that you, when this place used to be flourishing, like paradise, where you can just go get this abundance of food, buffets here, all these different things, that's gonna come to an abrupt halt, man. Right? This good life that people look forward to, or living, taking vacations, and doing all these different things here in America, right? That shit's gonna come to a halt, bro. Okay, because it's written in a place, right? Let me go find that. It speaks about in the affliction you don't remember prosperity. In prosperity you don't remember affliction. I think I don't know. Let me see. Salaki. Affliction. Dang. I don't Prosperity. I don't know how to spell it, man. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus 11:25. Okay, it says, "In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction." All right, you see, in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity, because when times get where they're going to be, well, we know where it's going. We don't have to guess, or maybe it might happen. Nah, it's gonna be worse than anything that's ever took place on the planet Earth, right? So it says, in the day of prosperity, there's a forgiveness of affliction, because hey, man, once you prosper and everything is all good, hey, you forget that affliction, right? But it says, in the day of affliction, there's no remembrance of prosperity, because you going through it right then and there. That heat is on your ass, and you in survival mode. So let's think about this. These people are gonna be in survival mode, man. Okay, well, like I said, a penny for a measure of wheat. You're only gonna be able to feed a one man's appetite, man, of a moderate appetite. Now think about these Americans. They indulge. They're gluttonous. They eat. They eat just to eat. They eat because they're bored. You got some people that they can't go without eating. What's it gonna be whenever this famine hit, man? Matter of fact, let me see. Oh, the brother. Shalom, brother. Hey, I was about to go get this. Shalom, brother. Y'all about Shemel Shabrakatah. The brother Nasi Shalom, brother. I'm gonna call you back too. This is Jeremiah 51:13. It says in the NLT, and you are a city by a great river, a great center of commerce. But your end is come. The the thread of your life is cut. Ooh, that's right. Because America was once prosperous, right? It was the place to be, the land of the free. Let's live it up, man. We having the best time of our lives. But what it says, but your end is come. The thread of your life is cut. This is the end of this devil's society, his rulership. All right, him being at the top. Ezekiel 4:16, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure. That's right, man. Think about it, man, because I got a bottle of water right here that I just I was supposed to drink this, but I just it's just right there. You know, think about when this not gonna be so accessible. There's gonna come a point in time where it's not gonna be so accessible, right? And people gonna have to, like on those movies, mark a line right here. 4 hours later, they gonna drink the water to a line right here. Now the average American now today got at least 3 kids, man. 3 kids in the home, man. Okay, and these people, they're gonna start bargaining with themselves. Well, you know, the fact to feed their kids, man. Right? This is what is all this is what is leading up to. All these things, this is what is leading up to. So the blockage, what he wants to do is block the Straits of Hormuz. Like, well, we don't want nobody getting in and nobody getting out. Now that's just like, that's like one of those, if I can't have, like a woman, if I can't have you, nobody else gonna have you, and kill your ass. You know what I mean? Well, and you got men that do that too. If I can't have you, then nobody else gonna have you. We can't go in and do business and commerce, then nobody else gonna go in and do business and commerce. Nah, bro. All right. And that's when you got these other nations looking at America like, bro, y'all just lame as hell. You know, doing all of this, man, doing all these things, bro. But you see, Donald Dump, America is weak as hell. America is weak, but just acting tough. That's what's going on. Like they got to play the tough guy role, man. This place is weak. If it was strong, it wouldn't be asking like, "Hey, please help me." Like, could you come help us? Convincing and following this in the Straits of Hormuz, right? Could you come help? Nah, man. All the allies on America are turning on America. As you can see, right? I played the video. I'll play it again. It's a little short clip. Check it out. Look, check it out.
Again told Donald Trump no. NATO allies have once again told Donald Trump no. We're not going to help you with the Strait of Hormuz. This time, Donald Trump is asking NATO allies to help block the Strait of Hormuz. This comes as Donald Trump is once again warning all ships who are coming to the Strait of Hormuz, saying, quote, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they'll be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. At this moment, we've heard from the United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, Italy, Poland, and Greece, who all said, no, we are not sending ships. We're refusing to help you in this. If the British Prime Minister saying, quote, we're not getting dragged into the war. What these countries are saying is, we're not going to help you now when there's an active war going on, a war that we're obviously not a part of. NATO is not meant for offensive operations, only defensive operations. But we would be willing to help once the war is over. We haven't heard Trump's response yet, but I'm sure it's not going to be good.
These shall hate the war, right? And we seeing this play out, like in broad day. We see this play out. We see this prophecy, peaking, right? So the things that we prophesy about, see, the world used to tell us, oh, that's not gonna never happen. That's not gonna never happen. Well, it's happening in your lifetime right now. How you feel about that, right? Because what they said in Ezekiel, he prophesied about a time afar off. Nah, this is here. This is here. Okay? And we're about to see, and look how close to World War III we are. We're about to see, these people implement the MOTB, man. They got to crash this system first. It's what they got to do, you know? And once they crash this system, they going to move forward with their agenda, man. Right? So we're not ignorant to Satan devices, and we understand what times that we in, man. We in a time, of war, right? And these things and the prophecies, speaking loud and clear. Okay, there was something else I wanted to. What was on here? Okay, I think I read it. It said groceries go up because I'm reading from the chat. Because when you type it in chat, chat, gets give you the breakdown of it, man. Okay, so oh yeah, it says, check it out. Worst case scenario, if the blockage lasts for weeks and months, which we gonna see, global recession, a global recession. Okay. Severe energy shortages in Europe and Asia, increased geopolitical conflict. So the whole world gonna be, in a conflict, man, going back and forth with one another. Okay, and it's gonna turn, nuclear. Okay, the Straits of Hormuz is like the main value for the world. It's like a main valve for the world's oil supply. You shut the valve off, prices surge, economy slows, and tension rises. Right? So prices surge, meaning that you're not gonna be able to afford anything. You're not gonna own anything and be happy. You see, because once you're in these situations in affliction, you don't remember prosperity. So these people are gonna be in such afflictions because everybody's so used to having microwave results. Everybody's so used to having, you know, what they want when they want it. So when things happen and the world get to shut down and stuff like that, people are going to be reaching and grasping and scraping and scrambling for some kind of normalcy. So people are not gonna own anything and they're gonna be happy, right? Hold up. And the economy slows and the tension rises. Everybody gonna be bugged out. Everybody gonna be over the edge, man. All right, because they ain't never seen nothing like this before. But this is the work of the Lord, man. So the brother put up another precept. This is Second Ezra 16-21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, even so like and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword and famine and great confusion. Right? And that's happening, bro. Okay? Because it was one point in time where things was cheap upon the planet Earth, bro. But these evils have grown, and they're about to mature. Evils about to mature on the planet Earth. Okay? And in their maturity, it's going to, take a lot of people out. So it's going to be mass. The scripture speaks about it's going to be a lot of people taken in a great number. You know, so that's basically all I got on that, man. So we gonna see what's gonna go on with this. So with that, man, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.